Hi everyone, welcome. This is Intuitive Edge. This is where we take an intuitive look at what's going on in our world. So it's time to take a look ahead at the month of May and to see what energies might be coming up and what we might be seeing playing out in the news. So I'm going to shuffle up the cards and I'll be right back and we'll get started. So I'm using my Dreaming Way Tarot. I've written out a spread here, so I've got 9 questions, 9 areas we're going to look at, and this is about the month of May. What do we see coming in? Okay, so first up is the political going on. Now, this reading is I live in the United States, so it's probably going to be focused on that, but I did ask if there's anything in the world going on that is noteworthy that might come through as well. So but I'll probably focus mostly here in the US. My question on the first two was the political and then the hidden influence with the political. And the first card out on the political is the Queen of Wands. Now there could be some action coming in, being taken politically. Just in looking, the way I do intuitive tarot is I combine the meaning of the card with anything that I might see that kind of pops out in the artwork that kind of speaks to me. And I'm kind of seeing like she's got her skirt kind of coming up a little bit and feels like something's going to be a little bit uncovered, or there's action being taken that might expose somebody. Not all the way, but there could be some unwanted exposure. And the hidden influence with this is this card, the Knight. Now, this particular Knight of Pentacles, I'll show it to you again, generally has to do with things that are moving slowly. Even though there's movement, sometimes it can be stalling or stonewalling. And this usually has to deal with money, values, finances. There's some type of money trail, perhaps having to do with this card, kind of getting some exposure, taking action on some type of money thing. And this is like almost I'm getting a stonewall or blockade kind of feeling with this. We're pretending to comply, but we're actually stonewalling you. We're not really complying. So this could be a big issue coming up in the political. So it's the political and what's hidden. The hidden influence is that Knight of Pentacles. I'm stonewalling. I am pretending to abide and comply, but I'm really not. So a lot of the same old that we've been seeing over the last few months. Since Donald Trump took office, there's been a lot of sweeping changes and a lot of resistance. So I think we'll probably see more of the same, but I think the exposure thing is going to be ramped up. So perhaps equal, more ramping up, more exposure, and more stonewalling, getting in the way and obstruction. Okay, all right. Next, what is out in the open? And this is interesting. We have the Two of Cups. This is a card of partnerships, agreements, deals. And I'm kind of wondering if there's going to be some sort of deal being made, some public display of a negotiation or a deal or a partnership. It makes me think of what's been happening with the Ukraine and perhaps Russia and trying to negotiate talks. This could be with other things too, perhaps China or India, maybe talks, tariffs. There's lots of movement there as well. This is out in the open. This is what we're probably all going to be seeing, maybe it playing out in the news. But it's all about agreements, partnerships. How can we work together to make something happen? So that's the energy of that card. So we'll be seeing a lot of that playing out. The next card is the lesson to learn. What do we really need to grasp this month? What do we need to learn? What are the lessons in life? Okay, this could be, again, if you want to apply this to your personal life, you can. This energy of the High Priestess. This is really interesting on that question of what do we need to learn, because she is all about intuition and wisdom, following your intuition, not being led astray by shiny objects and fancy things. You're really paying attention to what's really going on behind the scenes and using your intuition and your wisdom, not just believing headlines, not just following the crowd, but actually maybe doing some internal work or research on things and seeing what resonates and what doesn't. That's the work of the high priestess. She goes within and she finds her answers. And that is the lesson this month. So there could be maybe some headlines that are not true that get widely spread, and then it comes out later, oh, that was wrong. But there were some people who maybe caught on to it in the beginning, and that's the lesson, is to catch these things before getting swept into what everybody else is talking about and thinking that you've got this inside scoop when really it's not the truth. So that's the lesson this month. Okay, what do we need to, I've got my notes over here, so what do we need to look at but don't want to see? This is a really interesting card on that question. We have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, generally a card of heartache, sadness, or betrayal. Looking at ways that you're being hoodwinked or you're being betrayed. It could be like a lover's quarrel or some type of third-party involvement. And to have that on what do we need to look at but don't want to look at, this is an interesting card on that because it says that there are things that are probably detrimental and things that are painful that we don't want to look at. And a lot of the corruption and things that governments get away with and do on a daily basis, we don't want to look at it because, well, there's lots of reasons. Lots of reasons why people don't want to look at it. They want to just live their life and not be bothered. Perhaps it's too painful to see the ways that people are being taken advantage of or the corruption that is off the charts. So that could be very, very painful to look at, but it is something we need to look at. So it could be coming up again for us to look at. And oftentimes these lessons come back around until the time that we finally say, okay, it's time to look at this and deal with it. So, all right, next is Earth changes. Just wanted to check in with Mother Earth to see what might be happening here. This is the Five of Wands. This is an interesting card of conflict. It's unrest. This is a card of volatility. Things can be explosive. We could see some earth changes, maybe landslides, volcanoes, earthquakes in various areas. There's unrest and volatility with this card, so just be aware of that. What is the hope for this month of May, and what holds promise? Well, very nice card on this. We have the Ace of Wands, a very nice card of new beginnings. And wands have to do with taking action, things that are happening. And it's like planting your stake, planting something that will take root and grow. Ace of Wands, all about new beginnings. There is a brand new beginning on the other side of all of this, whether it's earth changes, having to look at things we don't want to look at, having to learn the lesson of the high priestess, wisdom going within. But there's something new on the horizon. And that's a very, very nice card to have there. What is the reward? Now, this was interesting. We have the Nine of Wands. This is a card of having to delay or wait or be patient. It can be being on guard. And having this as the reward tells me that this is something that people that have been waiting for something to happen, maybe some people maybe waiting for arrests, waiting for corruption to be dealt with and waiting, and it seems like it's an eternal wait. This is in the position of the reward. So perhaps that's indicating that all of that waiting is going to pay off, because it's right underneath this. What is the promise? A brand new beginning. So I think this is extremely auspicious. The waiting is the reward. It's about to be rewarded. The ninth card out is the overall. Interesting card here. This is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is about deals being made. It's about making an offer, accepting an offer. And this card is, as you'll see, this knight is facing that direction. He's facing right into this card. This is the number 2 card, which was the number 3 card, which was what is out in the open, where we talked about deals being made. And this is the deal maker. The knight on a white horse coming in to broker a deal. This is going to be out in the open, and this is the overall outcome. This is going to be big in the month of May. Deals being made. People coming to the table. People making requests. People brokering deals. There could be a negotiation, maybe a treaty or some sort of pause, maybe with the war in Ukraine. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know for sure, but it wouldn't surprise me, because there's all kinds of deals being made, and that Knight of Cups being the card of the negotiator and the bringing something to the table, making an offer. So those are the large energies playing out this month. Underneath, we have the World card. The World is a card of success. Things coming to fruition. It's like the end of a cycle, the end of an era, the end of something. And what happens after endings are these new beginnings. So to me, this is very hopeful, that all of this is culminating, all of the waiting for something to happen, waiting for the right moment, the right timing, all of that is coming around, and it's like there's a deal that's going to be made. It's going to come out in the open. Things are going to get uncovered with this energy here. This queen is taking action, and the stonewalling and all of that, I don't think it's going to last. This card is like, it's stubborn, but eventually this is going to have to come around. So this waiting is going to have to pay off at some point. So that's what I have for this month. So tuning in psychically, just to kind of feel into this month of May and what might be coming up. The thing that really strikes me is it feels like May is going to be, like I said, a lot of negotiating and stuff. But I feel like the real action is going to take place more like June. And that May is more like a getting ready kind of month. I feel like things are really going to ramp up in June. So that's what I'm getting for that. Okay, so as I was closing my eyes, kind of tuning in a little bit more to this month, I was picking up on China, and I'm feeling like with all of the pressure, with the negotiations and things, the tariffs, I'm feeling like China is trying to do something with India, like trying to ask India for a favor, or trying to negotiate with India to do something with the United States on China's behalf. So as an example, I don't know if this is exact or not, but as an example, it'd be like China asking India, would you please talk to Trump and work this deal out for us? Maybe you could, I don't know, there's something that you can do to, maybe you have better relation with Trump, you can work this out on our behalf, kind of thing. And I get that India is like saying no. I get the sense that India is like, Yeah, no, there's no reason that we need to do that. This is something that you can do. You can negotiate yourself. We don't need to, you don't need to bring us into it kind of feeling. Now, I don't know if that's exact or not, or if that's just kind of what it feels like, but that's what I'm getting. That's what it feels like. China trying to get India to do something, and they're like, we don't see a need to do that. Sorry, we're not going to help you with that. So that's what I'm picking up on there. I do see some more concerns around a volcano. This could be up in the Alaska area. But it's a little concerning because it feels like it's more inland, not out on the Aleutian chain. It's a little more in, and so there could be more population centers that could be affected if there's an eruption. I don't know if there'll be a full-scale eruption. Wouldn't surprise me terribly if there was, but I'm feeling like this is more of escalation of concern. So maybe there's more earthquakes locally. Maybe the volcano is showing more signs of erupting, but I'm getting a lot of unrest and more volatility. So that volcano, whichever one that is, I think it's up somewhere in Alaska. Anyway, I feel like it's becoming more awake, and it's doing more of its thing. And eventually there will most likely definitely be an eruption. I don't know if it'll be this month or not, but it's definitely going to be on the radar for the month of May. I'm tuning into something else. I'm drawn over to the East Coast. I don't know if this is New Jersey, Virginia, North Carolina, somewhere over there. Maybe even Maryland. I'm not sure where on the East Coast, but I'm pulling over there. And this feels like I'm drawn to like a police press briefing. Like an incident happened. It feels accidental. Like maybe some explosion at a plant or something, and there's casualties. And I feel like the sheriff's office, or maybe even the coroner, are giving an update to the press, letting people know this is what happened. I'm feeling that for that area. I don't know what happens exactly. I tried to lay some cards out for it, and the cards aren't good. I get the Five of Wands conflict card crossed by that Three of Swords. So Three of Swords being sadness, heartache, heartbreak. I have the Tower above that. Tower is a card of things collapsing or falling apart. Perhaps there's some industrial accident. And the Nine of Swords is on the outcome. So something is not a good thing. I do think there could be some casualties involved. So I'm just picking up on something like that on the East Coast. And I tried to get more clarity on it, and it's just vague, but that's what I'm seeing is law enforcement giving an update to the press, having like a press conference or briefing. It could be an ongoing situation where they're still getting updates as to, how many injured, how many casualties, and they're giving updates, and it could be more than one update. So it could be a pretty big incident that I'm seeing coming up. I'm thinking this is for May. We'll see. If not, it'll be probably within the next month or two, but probably this month. Anyway, lend your energies to whatever this is, that casualties will be reduced, and that it won't be as a catastrophic thing, but it doesn't feel very good, whatever it is. So I'm picking up on that as well. I think that's all I got for May. Again, I feel like May is setting the stage, and June is when things ramp up. So, all right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you. If you can, like and subscribe. It does help the algorithm, as you know. Feel free to join me on Patreon too. I've got some interesting things over there. Got a great family of patrons over there. So if you want to join me, see what I have to offer, the link is in the description. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me, and we will see you in the next video. Bye for now.